So let me get this straight. The Phantom Menace, it is convoluted and confusing. Nobody can understand it, not even you. Kids can't follow it. It's too confusing for kids. Also boring. Too much politics. Starting with the opening title crawl. Too many words. Too much explanation. Too confusing. Can't tell what's going on. Okay, let's take a look at this now. Confusing? How is this confusing? Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. Okay, that's pretty clear. Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. Turmoil. Turmoil. Look it up. Look it up in the dictionary. Google it. Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. Okay, so far, everybody with me? Anybody confused? Turmoil. This is unrest, and this is not good. Look it up. Now, let's say that a kid reads this. Let's say this kid is age 10. When I first watched Star Wars in 1977 in the theaters at age 10, and I saw words like Civil War and Empire and rebels and blah, 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 and I didn't know anything about that. I didn't understand any word of that. None of it. All I understood was Empire, rebels. Empire, bad, rebels, good. That was it. That's all I understood. Darth Vader, bad. Stormtroopers, bad. Luke Skywalker, good. Han Solo, good. Obi-Wan Kenobi, good. Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan Kenobi, good versus evil. I understood that as a child, and I didn't understand or even follow or even care about any of the politics. It was just a cool movie. Also, I love the characters. R2-D2, C-3PO. Hilarious. Everyone was laughing. I was laughing. I remember going back to see this movie in theaters over and over again with my family and friends. We loved it. I still love it. Star Wars, original. And then years later, 32 years later, I saw then in the theaters the Phantom Menace, Star Wars Episode 1. And then I was now 32 years old, and I saw the Phantom Menace, and the first thing I encountered was the opening music, the title crawl. Of course, exactly the same as I had expected to see, and I was full of nostalgic expectation. And then when the opening title came across, the Phantom Menace, I immediately felt like I was watching a Star Wars movie, perfectly in line with, in sync with, felt the same theme as well as tone and spirit, and measured in direction as Star Wars Episode, now known as Episode 4 and 5 and 6, A New Hope. A New Hope, known as A New Hope. But when I saw it, it was Star Wars, and then The Empire Strikes Back, and then Return of the Jedi. And now it's, of course, Episode 4, A New Hope, and Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, and Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. And then later, years later, we have the Phantom Menace, Star Wars Episode 1, and then Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and then Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And then all of these I saw in theaters. Again, experiencing this movie, this story, the beginning. Every story has a beginning, and this was it for these characters. I saw Jake Lloyd as Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and believe me, this kid deserves an Oscar. Still, yeah, this kid deserves an Oscar, and I might get a copyright strike on this, but whatever. I'll have to slow it down or put some interference in there. But Jake Lloyd deserves an Oscar for his portrayal of Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Written and directed by George Lucas. Producer Rick McCallum. Executive producer George Lucas. And all epic masterpiece. So what is so confusing about all of that? That turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic, or that this dispute is because of, it's a dispute over trade routes to outlying systems. And while this is going on here, the greedy Trade Federation has blockaded the small planet of Naboo, tiny planet, blocked their shipping lanes. And now the Galactic Republic is debating these alarming turn of events endlessly in the Galactic Republic. And then now secretly, the Chancellor, the Supreme Chancellor of the Galactic Republic, the Supreme Chancellor, this Chancellor has sent now 2 Jedi Knights, the Guardians of Peace and Justice in the galaxy, to settle the conflict. And so what is confusing about any of that? How is that confusing? There's nothing confusing about it. Unless you can't read, in which case that's fine. That's no harm done there. Just look at the pictures and you'll see what's going on. It's not confusing. It's not boring. And no one is confused. No child is confused. I was not confused when I saw the original Star Wars. My kids were not confused when they saw these new episodes. They were younger than I was when I saw Star Wars. And they understood it, and they understand it, and they love it. And the prequels are the best Star Wars. The prequels is the best Star Wars. And that's just the way it is. Yeah, and if you have a different opinion, fine, so be it. May the Force be with you, and may the Force be with us. As long as we're all on the same mission here. And that is to do one thing, and that is to preach the gospel, the good news. And that is this. Star Wars is for all of us. And those that want to fight about it and make it about this group or that group, then fine, go ahead and do that. That's not the way it was intended. That's not the way the Creator designed it. And you can look at this, you can read about this in all of the books. The books, there's a lot of books out there. I recommend you read my books. I recommend you read my books on the subject. I will explain it all. And then somebody needs to get on the phone and get a hold of Bradley Cooper. Give me Bradley Cooper on the phone, on the line. Somebody get me Bradley Cooper on the line. Jake Lloyd deserves an Oscar for his portrayal of Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Yeah, an all-time epic masterpiece, written and directed by George Lucas, producer Rick McCallum, executive producer George Lucas. Yeah, an all-time epic masterpiece. And Jake Lloyd deserves an Oscar for his portrayal of Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Somebody get me Bradley Cooper on the line. Also, while we're on the subject, Jake Lloyd deserves a star on the Walk of Fame. At least, man, come on. Somebody get me Bradley Cooper. On the line, somebody get me Bradley Cooper.
LUCASFILM Limited, 13 seconds in. 17, 18, 19, 20. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Star Wars. Okay, here we go. Got it. Just read it. Just read it. And here we go. Episode 1. The Phantom Menace. This is the title, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Now here's the first line in this episode. Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. The taxation of trade routes to outlying star systems is in dispute. Hoping to resolve the matter with a blockade of deadly battleships, The greedy Trade Federation has stopped all shipping to the small planet of Naboo. While the Congress of the Republic endlessly debates this alarming chain of events, the Supreme Chancellor has secretly dispatched 2 Jedi Knights, the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy, to settle the conflict. Okay, now what is complicated about that? Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. This is about a dispute over trade routes to, and here we'll pause it there, trade routes to outlying star systems. And then to resolve the matter, the greedy Trade Federation has sent a blockade of ships to the small planet of Naboo, the greedy Trade Federation. And then while the Senate, the Galactic Senate, endlessly debates this alarming chain of events, the Supreme Chancellor has secretly sent these 2 Jedi Knights, the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy, to settle the conflict. So what is complicated about that? How is that complicated? That entire title crawl is 1 minute. It's about 1 minute and 20 seconds, or 1 minute and 50 seconds in from the time I pushed play, from 0 to when I paused it. It's what is complicated about that. Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Let me say that again. Star Wars, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. How is that complicated? What is complicated about that? It's not complicated. Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. Start it over. Read it. Pause it. Just read it. The chapter is titled The Phantom Menace. This is Episode 1, Chapter 1. That's not complicated. You might not like it, but it's not complicated. And it's also not boring, and it's not confusing. Episode 1. This is the first episode. Every story has a beginning. This is this one. The Phantom Menace. That's the story. This is it. This is how it starts. Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. Turmoil. This is bad. The taxation of trade routes to outlying star systems is in dispute. This is about taxation to trade routes to outlying star systems. How's that confusing? Hoping to resolve the matter with a blockade of deadly battleships, the greedy Trade Federation has stopped all shipping to the small planet of Naboo. Deadly battleships? Greedy Trade Federation? Small planet of Naboo? I mean, how is that complicated? While the Congress of the Republic endlessly debates this alarming chain of events, this is Politics 101. The Supreme Chancellor has secretly dispatched 2 Jedi Knights, the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy, to settle the conflict. How is that complicated? How is that confusing? And I'm going to again say this. Just watch it again. Or you can just rewatch the whole movie and get the whole thing, because The Phantom Menace is freaking awesome.